Welcome back to this episode of Cope's Corner. I'm your host, as always, Mike Copenaber, aka Real Mike. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, all at the likes of KOPESKORNER. Stoked to be here to talk about some UFC 283 going down the pay-per-view this weekend, which will be Glover Teixeira taking on Jamal Hill, which would be a great main event. And then there's the co-main event, Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno, which will be dope. And a bunch of other really, really good bouts that we'll jump into a little bit later in the mix. First and foremost on the show, I'd like to thank the sponsors of the show. First sponsor I'd like to thank of the show is Melon Brand Hats. It's MELIN. It's a luxury line of hats that my boy Brian McDonald came up with in high school. He talked about how we'd have a hat line unlike anything you've ever seen. Different materials, really cool patterns, stuff that's waterproof even, that it's really cool for the beach and for the lake and whatnot, especially if you have kids and you don't, if you want to beat the heck out of it. But yeah, make sure you go give Melon Brand some love and separate yourself from the pack. They have a new ash collection, one that just dropped. That's an ash and ember. That's this gray and red accent. It's so fire. So make sure you go and, like I said, give them some love. And last but not least, I'd like to thank is SUA Law Group. It's SUA Law Group. My boy Brandon Sua, one of the best law practitioners that there is over here in Ventura County. Does LA County as well, but he has two offices in Ventura County, one in Simi Valley, one in Ventura County, and Ventura, the city of Ventura County as well. He does family law, criminal law, and personal injury, whether it's the crooked baby mama drama, the crooked cops, the DA, whatever it may be. My boy Brandon Sewell will have your back and his team of legal representatives. Really, really, really good people. So can't thank them enough for giving me a chance to go live here on StreamYard. And my boy, Mr. B, the MMA guy, will be the co-host for the night. How is my dude?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Stoked to talk about this pay-per-view this weekend. A little bit more loaded card than last weekend was, because that was a tough one last weekend. You know, B.
Yeah.
We did good though. We did really good on our picks. I mean, I think out of all the fights, there's two or three maybe I got wrong. I think you and I butted heads on two, and I got both those right.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the veteran versus the new guy again. Fool, what is going on with that? It's almost every time, B, and I know every time's far fetched, but I will say a good majority of the time, it's if I call that veteran versus the underdog, B, the veteran wins. It's cash it, right?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
it's kind of annoying for especially when Mr. B goes up against it, because he's like, this is bullshit. This is rigged. But 1 second. So yeah, last weekend's UFC fight night was last weekend's event was UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Imavov that we were kind of discussing. Let me get it up here for you guys.
Hey, what's happening, man? What's going on, Gary?
Oh, bro, you really gonna make me do that? Oh, that's so whack. I can't. Well, dude, Gary Boxing MMA up in the mix. Appreciate you being here, my dude. As always, any of you guys here, please like, subscribe, and show some love. We really, really do like the interactions that go on between you guys. I don't know. 1 second, B. Let me I gotta put.
He took himself out. Oh shoot, he took himself out. Okay, now he's back.
I had to hold on. I got a new setup in here. I got a new setup, and it wouldn't let me do something for some reason, so I had to run back real fast. Sorry, B. But yeah, so last weekend's Fight Night Strickland versus Imavov was the main event. I'm just gonna run through it a little bit. The first fight of the night, me and Mr. B both had Charles Johnson took on Jimmy Flick. Charles Johnson TKO KO ground and pound, absolutely dominated Jimmy Flick. B. It's kind of how I felt. I said he was gonna batter Jimmy Flick because I like Jimmy's jiu-jitsu, but I did not like his hands. And if you end up stuffing them, and that's kind of what happened. Not only did he stuff him, he reversed him a few times, right, B?
Yeah, he did. He did. Jimmy looked so out of place, man. So out of place. Got beat up bad, man.
Yeah, really, he really did get beat up bad. You know what? There's no point of even having that up there right now because it's so small. It doesn't even matter for them. So I'm gonna pull that down. Sorry, guys. But I got beat up bad. But right on point. Me and Mr. B had. If you guys had a parlay with some of the leans that we had last weekend, you guys would have killed. The next fight of the night would be no different. We had Daniel Argueta took on Nick Aguirre. We both thought that Daniel Argueta would be a little bit too much, ended up winning a unanimous decision there. Just kind of just dominated him all 3 rounds. Anything spectacular you saw in there, B?
No, pretty much, yeah. Just dominated him. Straightforward, wrestling, did his thing. That was it.
Yeah. So, but the next fight of the night was Alan Nascimento took on Carlos Hernandez. Alan Nascimento won by submission, rear naked choke, round 1. He was a pretty heavy favorite, as a lot of these guys were, and a lot of them that were heavy favorites did kind of did do damage and ended up making a showcase for themselves. But Alan Nascimento looked good in this fight versus Carlos Hernandez. Hubby.
Yeah, yeah. I liked the finish. His finish was pretty damn solid. He took the back. For the most part, yeah, his grappling was just really strong. He took the back. He had the rear naked. I think Hernandez tried to do a backflip off the something like a back roll off the cage. Then he got back on his feet, but Nascimento still had his back, so that was pretty damn cool to see. And got the submission, standing guillotine. I mean, standing
Yeah.
rear naked.
For a lackluster card, like on paper, there was a few
There's some good moments. Yeah.
there were some good moments in this card, so kind of made up for the fact that the UFC was kind of washing us out there. But
Yeah,
the next fight of the
yeah.
night was Mateus Rebecki took on Nick Fiore. I believe both had Rebecki there, and he just won a
Yeah.
unanimous decision. I don't. What he had some good heavy hands in that fight, B, and kind of just did whatever he wanted, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Then I did not like that second and third round. They both gassed like crazy. I know Rebecca was trying to finish him in the first, so that explains it. But Fiora was just like beat up, and just he was trying to get through, trying to have his moments with the striking, but Rebecca just kept taking him down. A lot of good control. Big props to him.
Yep. So another W there for right there. And then the next fight of the night was the one that I actually we were both interested in, was Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He took on Claudio Ribeiro. And man, didn't I tell you, B, that fucking you never know which Al Hassan you're gonna get, but the dude's athletic, strong, powerful, and this dude's gonna end up looking like a Dark Knight coming out here, fucking just savagely killing the man, and that's exactly what Al Razak Al Hassan did. KO TKO punches in round 2. Absolutely, he murdered him, right? B, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, first round was kind of slow. There was a lot of wrestling. He had him wrestled up against the cage, a lot of clinch. The second round, it looked like he just said, "Yo, fuck it," and just let his hands go. And Ribeiro didn't have no answer, man. Ribeiro got hit with that right hand, and it just kept getting hit repeatedly by that right hand, man. Dude folded. Oh,
that was one there that I ended up cashing for Al Hassan. I know B liked Al Hassan too. Isn't he from around where your family's from, B, or am I wrong? Am I right? Different guy.
I have
don't your family
different guy. But I do have I have extended family that's yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was one of the dudes that was closer to your family, but sorry for my mistake. But either way, we've been high on him though for a long time, but he's been just so many times we just never know when he just teeter-totters back and forth. But this is one of the ones where I thought he was just going to be too much for Claudio. And he looked devastating, but it was a scary round 1, man. Like both these guys, I don't know if the pace would even keep up.
Yeah. Pace was just weird. The first round, the pace was just weird. So I thought Al Hassan was gonna wrestle him throughout like the whole fight or whatever. But man said "fuck you" and just started to
So yeah, good fight there, and decent line though on Al Hassan too. He was around the -100, -105 mark, -115 at most, and it fluctuated all around. And then the next fight of the night was another one that we both liked, the Bashrat, Javad Bashrat. He won a unanimous decision over Mateus Mendoza. Definitely kind of did exactly what I thought he would, man. Looked phenomenal. But Mateus looked pretty. I was scared for a few minutes in the first round, but then kind of Javad kind of just kind of put his got the range and the distance and ended up being able
Yeah.
to do his thing. But his takedown defense, like we talked about, and his scrambling abilities, very impressive fighter. It's fun to watch. B.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. He did as expected, man. Mendoza is a fast guy, explosive with his striking, but Javid just kept it technical, man, and really good work on his part. Kept it, as you said, kept it rangy. Used the takedown whenever was necessary. Got the job done. Now
Yep.
he's
So
calling out. He's calling out a top opponent now. Calling out big
yeah.
name.
Yeah, so shout out to Basharat for silencing another just a hater in the sense because first you had a racist guy, then this guy was pointing the gun at his head. You
Oh,
see him point the gun? Did you see him point the gun at what's his name after when you beat him?
yeah, I did. I did.
It was subtle. It was very subtle, but it was funny, man. So I wish we could have bet him. I wish there was a little bit more of money to be made on something like that, but there wasn't. And a lot of these fights, there wasn't a lot of opportunity, but we were right on par with almost all these fights. The next fight night would be no different. The -1,000 Umar Nurmagomedov took on Raoni Barcelos. And man, Umar looked phenomenal, bro. Round one, left hook, KO TKO, just silenced and sat down Barcelos and pretty much just caressed his skull after he knocked him unconscious. It was dope.
Dog, if you would have told me that Umar would have got a KO against Ronnie Barcelos, I would have told you you're lying. But yo, I can't believe he really got that KO on Ronnie Barcelos. In the first round on top of that.
Garrett, that's a big step up from that cable that he used to have back in the day, huh? Where you guys used to hate on him, or not cable, the fucking internet. All these fools would be dogging on you on Haps about that shit.
You heard, right?
It's like, bro, he's from New York. Got to give him fucking slack on that. And then there's windy. It's a
we have windy bullshit going on.
A lot of weather over there in New York. So, but yeah, no, definitely. But why is the background staying so good this time for you be on the green screen compared to the other times?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
I'm just focused in here, I guess. So like,
I don't know. Whatever you're doing, just keep it going because it does look good when you're got that green screen in the background here on StreamYard. One of the things that we have to pay for, so at least we get to use it. But yeah, so with that said, Umar Nurmagomedov, pretty scary how this dude's striking, B.
Yeah, man. Umar is really he's really improving, man. And it shows because Khabib was complaining about that Umar got good kicks, but he don't use his hands often. And then all of a sudden, here he comes, fucking throws a knee. The knee kind of misses, but then he just follows it up with just a clean left hook, and just boom.
It was sick, man. What up, Kick Your Bass? Appreciate you being here, my dude, my boy from Kansas City over there, Missouri. And then with Gary Boxing was laughing about his crest, his skull. He really did, bro. It was quite dark and beautiful. Like it was like I knocked you out with the. He was pretty much already knocked out from the one. Then he followed it up. And then he was about to do another one and realized he was done, and then he just
he just grabbed it
he held his skull and looked at him like the kiss of death. It was dope. I don't know if he meant to do it, but it was. I mean, that should be his thing now. Every time he knocks someone out, is the fucking just knock them out and hold their skull and caress them.
Nah, you gotta look like a serial killer. Nah, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looks like some very dark fucking shit, dude. Some almost some vampire fucking shit. But the next fight of the night was one of the fights here that I called was Raquel Pennington versus Caitlin Vieira. This was one of the ones that we were. Remember, like I said, my initial instinct or my read at the weigh-in was that Caitlin Vieira. But then B and I kept discussing and talking about it, and I just felt like, man, this is gonna be one of those third round winner takes all. You got to win the third round, and Raquel Pennington's fight IQ ends up split decision winning it. It's exactly what happened. Raquel Pennington wins a split decision versus Caitlin Vieira. Cashed that bet for plus 105. My boy B over there took fucking the dog, or not the dog, the slight favorite Caitlin. But dude, B Rocky just keeps doing it.
Yeah, man. Rocky just showed up, man. The real Rocky, please stand up. She showed up. that strength and conditioning. Her striking looked a lot cleaner in this one as well. She did take some punishment from Ketlin, but she followed up the volume, pretty good volume, and she got away from a lot of those clinch situations that Ketlin usually puts people in. So man, big props to her. That's a much needed win.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
she's right there now. She's right
especially
there.
with they're gonna have a baby soon, so I know firsthand having a new baby that extra money will definitely help her. But she actually kind of earned. I mean, she did earn it. It was a close fight. I thought Rocky won it, and just slightly in the end of it. But either way, man, very happy to just get that plus 105 there. But sadly, when there's a wins, there's sadly just teeter totters, and
Oh,
we got a loss on the next one. Our boy Puna Haley Soriano took on Roman Kopolov. And man, I think it's my love for the Islanders. Maybe it's not that Soriano's not good, but I dropped 1.6 units on Puna Haley Soriano. Really thought that he would be able to do it here, but fucking Roman Kopolov, this guy that has already fought a few times in front of us, that I did not see him being as impressive as he was here versus Puna Haley Soriano. Ended up TKO in our boy in the second round. Ate 1.6 units there, so gave that 1.05 units right back pretty much. Sucked, man. What do you say about this, B?
I was hurt by it. I'm straight up forward with you. I was hurt by it. I had a bet riding on this as well, and it hurt. It hurt to see Punahele was getting inside, but damn the jab from this guy Kopolov, man. Kopolov kept throwing that jab perfectly. But the thing that even upset me more was the fact that he kept throwing these damn body kicks, man. He kept it at range. We was talking about it, and he kept it at range. And Soriano was getting inside at first. But then all of a sudden it was like, yo, he just stopped. He stopped engaging. And he kept taking those damn body kicks and a lot of Kopolov's punches to the head and the jabs and the kicks, and that shit just took over. Second round, same thing. A whole lot of body damage. It was over. So hurt by it.
Yeah, man, it hurt real bad watching our boy lose. It hurt even more losing 1.6 units. Don't know what hurt worse was the love affair with Puna Haley Soriano. I'd love me some Islanders since Max Bless Holloway. I think I'm just like trying to grasp at Hawaiians, just fucking trying to just grasp at some Polynesian fucking skin, just to love one of you motherfuckers. And I keep just getting fucking pummeled. Between Max fucking going what 0-3 with fucking
Yeah,
Volk. Was it 3?
yeah.
Jesus, dude. I don't even like saying that. And then Puna Haley here. So either way, guys, when you win one, you lose one, and ended up losing winning one and losing it, just like I said, and transparent as could be when it comes to that. The next fight of the night was Dan 50K Ige took on Damon Jackson. And holy shit, dude. All the times that I fucking wanted Damon Jackson to get beat up because I didn't like him, and I had to switch it because he started doing pretty good. I couldn't tell you exactly. I believe we both picked. I actually, I can't even say who we picked on this one, but I think we edged it with 50K Ige. Not even sure. No bet on this one, but man, 50K Ige, Dan KO TKO round 2 absolutely killed Damon Jackson. B. Do you remember who we had on this one? B. Did we switch it? Did we? I can't remember. It's like I wanted to pick Ige, I think, but
picked Damon. You wanted to pick Ige. I picked
hate.
Damon. I picked
Okay.
Damon because I thought
Yeah.
Damon was going to use the grappling. No, stupid Damon Jackson. David, they did grapple a little bit, but it was a lot more of the stand-up fight. I did not expect Damon Jackson to go that route and try to stand and bang
so dumb
with Dan Ige. We talked about Ige improving his hands, and they get into this right there. They have this crazy tight exchange. Dan Ige lands this beautiful left hook, puts Damon Jackson down. It is a wrap. Like, Jesus.
Very impressive though. That Dan Ige was able to knock him out so nicely. Hopefully, I think he did win a performance bonus, right, B?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Nice. So 50K Ige lives up to his name, ends up getting a performance bonus, and it definitely deserved it. And it was phenomenal, man. Like I said, there was some there were some dead cold knockouts on this card that were very fun to watch.
Yes.
And then the next fight of the night lived up to be a little bit more than maybe the hype that some people thought of. Sean Strickland took on Nasruddin Imavov in the main event, and man, we had I had Sean Strickland picked here. I also had him bet. We had him bet at the plus, I think it was plus 105, but let me get the number real fast.
Yeah, it was. I think it
So
was
Sean
105.
Strickland ends up winning versus Nasruddin Imavov, plus 115. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So we ate the negative 160 on Puna Haley, and then end up getting the plus 115 here on Sean Strickland, and then also had Raquel Pennington as the other W. But man, Sean Strickland, this was a fun one. I don't care what anyone says. Sean Strickland showed up to fight. Imavov did too. These guys didn't shoot takedowns. They both banged. They both looked pretty decent. Imavov looked a little bit better than I thought. Some of his straight striking versus Sean, who's a little bit more flat-footed and can be hit. But Sean showed a lot better striking defense improvement. He was able to circle and move his head movement out of the power strikes. Looked a lot better, and I thought he won this easily. It was a very easy W. I'm glad that we bet it. Not a lot of people had Sean Strickland here picked. A lot of people were just writing him off, but I was one of the guys that wasn't. But B, how about Sean Strickland in this W for us?
Yeah, we took Sean Strickland here, and it just showed the volume, the good striking, the solid striking, the volume, and the cardio proved big time in this fight.
Big.
Tenacity Imavov, though, even though he's, took on a whole new opponent. He had, he moved up weight. He looked good.
They both look good. That's the thing, is that this fight went all 5 rounds, and I was entertained for pretty much all 5.
Yeah.
I would have liked a little more shit talking from Sean Strickland to his opponent, just because it's fun.
Yeah, they both look good. Nasruddin, really solid kickboxing skills. I like that. Sean Strickland. I did not like Sean Strickland's punches earlier in the fight, though. He was winning some of these god awful looking hooks and overheads, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing, Sean? Tighten that up."
Yeah, while Imavov was sharper in the beginning of the fight, he didn't look as sharp for sure.
Yeah, but Sean adjusted, and Sean got really, he was pouring it on as the fight continued. He also wrestled. He got a takedown on Imavov. I was kind of surprised there. Used some wrestling. He also defended some takedowns. Good back and forth action throughout the fight. That 5th round was pretty crazy. Imavov went for a takedown, was attempting a takedown, but Sean was just on it, man. On it, just defensively. Got a quick scramble up. And won it. Got the decision win, unanimous decision.
Yeah, and it's a good one for him after taking an L and a fight on this short of notice. Pretty impressive to be able to do what he did. So
yeah,
a lot of people just hating on Sean Strickland because he's an idiot, which he is. But still a pretty decent fighter, and he did give us this fight, so I do appreciate it. But
yeah, and big credit to Imavov, man. He doesn't lose nothing in stock. He doesn't lose nothing. He does. Yeah, fighting a higher caliber opponent. I'll just say, if Kelvin Gastelum was fighting that Imavov, Kelvin would have got whooped bad.
Yeah, he would have got worked. The size difference would have been crazy because Imavov was strong, man. Very impressive. A lot more impressed with Imavov than I was watching him fight Sean Strickland. This is a good match, a good late match, especially. And I had fun doing it. And so, yeah, with that said, this weekend's card is UFC 283. Glover Teixeira takes on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. Should be a great main event, huh, B?
Oh, yeah, man. Really good main event. It wouldn't have been a main event, though. Well, probably. Had it not been for the confusion that happened between Ankalaev and Prohaska. Not Prohaska. Is it Prohaska? Blachowicz. There you go. Blachowicz. That weird draw that happened. Yeah. So we got blessed. We got blessed with this one.
Yeah, well, the UFC smart. There was no champion. They don't have to get pay-per-view points on the next fucking bout. They give, this title comes about.
Word.
And it's it is what it is. Works out perfect for them. But with
Right.
that said, the first fight on the prelims will be Daniel Marcos takes on Simon Oliveira. This should be a decent fight for to open up the card. Most people won't know neither of these guys. Simon Oliveira is 31 years old. His counterpart Daniel Marcos is 29. The height difference: Daniel Marcos 3 inches taller, 5'7" versus 5'4". The reach is pretty much identical. What's it called? Simon Oliveira is 18-4 versus 13-0. Never tasted defeat as Marcos. What's weird on this one is when I was watching the weigh-ins, I like the energy from Daniel Marcos. I felt something. I felt like he had it, and I felt like he believed in himself. I originally had Oliveira picked out. I thought he was going to win. I felt like he'd be too much for Marcos, who's 13-0. He's fought in the Contender Series, but all of his other opponents, they're just 5-4, 8-2, 10-5. That it's I can't quite tell if he's the real deal, and some of them are he went to a decision with. But when he does finish, he just seems to be a puncher to punch. He does like to stand. He does likes to stand and finish with his hands when he does do it, or he ends up winning a decision. But he's taken on a guy, Simon Oliveira, who's been in here in the UFC, I believe, a couple times now. No, it's yeah, Contender Series, and then one time in a
Name Park
official
Gravely.
UFC, Tony Gravely, which was
Yeah.
a tough bout on his first go around. So he should have learned a lot versus that. So I automatically, I felt like off a record that Simon Oliveira should win this. He feel like he's got a little bit more experience, learned a lot from the Gravely fight, and should have sharpened some things. But I can't help but have that initial feeling that maybe Daniel Marcos could pull this off. He looked a little bit bigger. He looked a little bit. It might be a little bit stronger. He's a plus 120 underdog, negative 145 for Simon Oliveira. Do you know anything about this guy, B? Because I don't know enough about him other than my natural just look at them on the weigh-ins. He just looked like he was pretty solid, and he's gonna be a little bit closer than it's line.
Yeah. Both these guys come from the Contender Series. Oliveira came from 2021's Contender Series. If I remember correctly, Marcos comes from last year's Contender Series. This dude Oliveira that's a dog, man. That dude is a dog. A couple wins by KO TKO, but a lot of his wins come by way of submission. I forget what camp he's from, but yeah, very explosive fellow. Big punches, big kicks he throws. But the interesting thing is against this guy, Daniel Marcos, before showing up to get his contract on the Contender Series, Marcos was out for 3 years. He was he was fighting out there in
Good points.
Peru. And if I remember correctly, it was like, yeah, Peru. And
Yep.
took a hiatus. Just took a whole hiatus. I don't know if it was injuries or whatever, but he was just out for 3 years. Other than that, I know he has no subs. It's all either KO or decision, KO TKO or decision. And his for a fight that for a fighter that hasn't fought in 3 years, and you show up in a big spot like that to get a contract, he did pretty damn well for himself. While you had Oliveira that fought that guy all day on 2021, and it was a split decision when he got. It was a good fight, but yeah, split decision. He kind of struggled a little bit. Somewhat defending takedowns. It kind of showed a little bit more against Gravely. But yeah, this fight is gonna be pretty damn good, pretty damn close. I'm gonna take Marcos. I'm gonna take
I love
Marcos
it.
though. Even though I know Oliveira's gonna come out big. I think he has a little bit more experience. I'm gonna take Marcos because you take a 3-year hiatus, you show up on a quick call to take the opportunity to fight, you win your fight pretty convincingly. Now you're gonna put the time in it. You look happy as hell to have this fight. So I'm gonna take Marcos.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, he looked really healthy at the stare down. He looked bigger. I always like to do the belly button match. I always look at where the belly buttons meet. I know it sounds weird, but when someone's a little bit bigger, you could look at their belly buttons or their pectoral line, and you could kind of see like the size differences on some of these athletes. And I felt like, man, like, so it's crazy that you're calling that,
Yeah,
because that's who my heart is saying that I should pick. And because I feel like if Oliveira was so experienced, right,
yeah,
and if this was such a shut in case, closed case, why is it lined so closely? You know, B.
yeah,
Why is Oliveira kind of a bait price? I'm not saying he's not going to win. And he can't win. He can. I'm
yeah,
just thinking that this Marcos dude has enough umph in him to maybe cause some a little stir right to start off the whole night.
yeah. And
So
and
I
that dude Marcos is pretty damn technical. He's a
yeah
very technical guy, considering the fact that you out of Peru, man. You very technical. You know, Peru hasn't been like a big staple for MMA, but over the past couple of years, they have produced some good fighters, man. And
yeah so
we're gonna
so
look
yeah I'm
forward
gonna
to
go with you, B. We're gonna start it out just we're gonna go with Marcos there, slight underdog. I feel like he can get that one done, man. I feel like it's going to be a close one. There's no bet there, but I feel like that because I had that feeling, and
yeah,
because I do like my initial leans there at the weigh-ins, there's no veteran there versus the underdog, so, or the newer guys, so I don't have to worry about that rule B. So yeah, so I like that one. We'll both go with Marcos. Feel like this is going to be a good fight, closer fight than it looks. The
yeah.
next fight the night B is between two ladies, Josian, Jos. How do you say it? Josian Nunez?
Josiani.
Josiani is a weird name.
Yeah.
I can't. Josiani Nunez versus Zara Ferrin. This you're gonna get it first, B. But man, two tough names.
Word, man. So 145, Josiane Nunez, Zara Faring. Faring was the last person to weigh in today. She made the weight. You know, they have to pull out the box. The box is
Big
shaking.
old girl. She's a big girl.
Yeah. And she hasn't fought in a minute either, man. She's been off for quite a bit. But Josiane Nunez, man, 29 years old, 67-inch reach, 5'2", representing Brazil on an 8-fight win streak, and it's just so weird, man. The girl's just been looking like a monster, like since her debut in the UFC. A lot of her wins are by KO, TKO. She beat up Bia Malecki. She knocked the hell out of Bia Malecki. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, she knocked her out, hit her with the spin, and she just dropped. She beat Ramona Pasquale the last time she fought. I thought Ramona was actually gonna do a lot better, but Nunes, even though she lacks height, she got power. She got some serious, serious power. And you ever see that girl's back muscles? Her back muscles are insane. Like Shorty got little traps and she got all that going on.
Yeah.
And she throws everywhere, to the body, to the head, and it's very tight. She throws tight combinations. She kind of wings the overhand a little bit. But yo, she's a little menace, man. Going up against Zara Farn, who's 36 years old, representing France, 5'8" with the 73 inch reach. Yeah. Currently riding 2-fight losing streak, of course.
Such
Um,
a long reach, bro.
yeah. So it's about about a 6-inch reach. 6-inch reach, yeah. Advantage that she has against Nunes.
Not including the
Um,
legs.
yeah, not including not including the legs. The legs probably be a little add-on. So it'll probably be like probably maybe 7-8 inches advantage. Added the legs, maybe. Um, but yeah, she showed up. She won a couple fights outside the UFC. Um, she didn't beat nobody big names really, but she fought some folks. But then she showed up to the UFC, got beat up by Megan Anderson, got beat up by Felicia Spencer, submitted by Megan, TKO'd by Felicia. The girl could strike because France, you got a lot of technical strikers, a lot of good kickboxers. We know we had Francis show up, Cyril Gahn. We just seen Ashley Imavov fight. Was it Furo? But she doesn't have no takedown defense. But I think they put this fight up here because of the fact that Farron is gonna be good on the stand up. Josiane Nunes' bread and butter is her stand up. So you got a really exciting fight for everybody out there in Brazil. I'm gonna take Nunes. I think Nunes is gonna try to scare Zara. Zara should be no, cause crazy. If you think about it, Zara should be able to use her reach and just jab Nunes, and kick Nunes. But I
Right?
think Nunes is gonna find a way to just avoid a lot of that shit and just throw heavy bombs. Because I thought that's what Bia was gonna do, but clearly Zara has more fights than Bia. She's more experienced than Bia is. But I just think that Nunes is gonna find her way inside and just clobber Zara. So
Yeah, I think you're right because she's mean and she's gonna have to close the space and enter in, and she's going to at some point.
Yeah.
The thing that I worry about is no, I don't worry about actually. She's been knocked out by Felicia Spencer. She's been triangle choked by Megan Anderson. I absolutely how I feel about Megan Anderson, and then how I feel about tappers and nappers. So Zara Friend, like I said, her takedown defense is terrible. And like I said, she's even been knocked out, so she's not even that strong. The only thing here is size. The size difference is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But that might not mean anything if she had clipped in her chin. But Josiah Nunes is a negative 550 favorite. That's crazy, man.
That's the crazy part. Yeah.
Plus 390 for Zarafin. I'm gonna go with Josiah Nunez. I mean, I don't even know why I'm going so deep. I'm trying to just see if there's anything there, but man, other than the fact that maybe Zarafin can keep it standing and to keep it distance, she might be able to do something, but I don't think so, man. I think that you're right. And Josiah Nunez, stronger, more dedicated. I feel like she's the all around just maybe better athlete. But just crazy when you see that size difference because you're just like you want to pick the bigger one. I don't know why. It's like David versus Goliath. It's fucking weird. So the next fight of the night is going to be a good one. It's between Warley Alves takes on Nicholas Dalby.
Hold on, Mike. I think we skipped a fight.
What did I do?
Did. Luan Lacerda versus Cody Stamen.
Yeah, Tapology friggin'. Did you see this on Tapology? Like what?
Yeah, I did. I do.
Yeah. What the hell, dude? Sorry, guys. How weird, bro. It's not even up there at all.
No? Hold on, let me see something. Maybe I'm fucked up. Hold on.
No, you're right. Because I saw him all pissed off when the crowd was booing him, remember?
Yeah.
He said F off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm usually go off of Tapology, and if you go on Tapology, you see it. I'm not crazy, right? I know I smoke reefer, but I'm not seeing the matchup. And like, where would it be then?
Oh, they moved it up. Okay, they moved it up. It's okay. It's there, but they moved it up. All right. Go ahead.
Where's it at?
It's like after the McKinney Bonfim fight.
Okay. So yeah, okay. Cool. All right, no worries. Sorry for that glitch.
All right.
Sorry for the glitch.
That's my bad. I reset it on my side, and that's what the lineup showed. So
it's all good. I tripped out and I was like, no way. Either way, like I said, I go off Tapology. So, but sometimes mistakes do happen. So it is what it is. So, like I said, Warley Alves versus Nicholas Dalby. Nicholas Dalby is 24-1. Warley Alves is 14-5. Warley Alves 32 years old versus 38 years old for Dalby now. He's so much older than I thought. 5'11 versus 5'11, 72 inches versus 74.5 inches for Dalby. Let's see. Warley Alves is very, very aggressive. He does not reserve his gas tank all the best. He is a very, very fun fighter to watch. When's the last time Warley Alves fought? Let's see. Warley Alves last
fought that guy. He fought the kickboxer.
He fought Jeremiah Wells and got knocked out.
No, it was Wells. Yeah, it was Wells.
That's right. And that's when he only gave like one round. He only had like one round in him, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So exactly. So then you got the ground and pound, and I don't like that. Then Manor Lazez, he beat round one,
Yes,
which
he
I
beat
don't really
Lazez. Yeah.
count that as much. He lost the triangle choke by Randy Brown, which I don't like him tapping, and then he napped from James Krause even. Um, all I can say is that he's very aggressive and he's very fun. Likes to clinch, likes to throw knees when he can. He's going to be a lot of fun for one round, but Nicholas Dalby is much more professional, much more well-rounded, in my opinion. I maybe in the clinch, maybe Alves is a little bit better with knees, but I like Dalby everywhere, striking wise. Um, Maybe slight jujitsu could go to Alves, but I don't think Alves ever used it even. Let's see. Negative. Or guillotine choke, Colby Covington, Nordine Tilleb, Colby's. I don't think you're gonna be getting no guillotine choke on Dolby. Um Dolby strikes very well. He strikes in and out. I believe he switches stances, throws good kicks to the legs, which should mean do a lot of damage to Warley Alves and his power on his lead leg. Uh, trying to think. Dalby's last loss was Tim Means. It was decision. Tim Means a lot of gas on the tank. Am I missing something? B? I'm just thinking this is like an easy W for Dalby, but I know that Alves is dangerous. Plus 105 underdog for Dalby, negative 125 for Warley Alves. Is there something that I'm missing, B? Because I'm like I don't unless Doughboy Dalby does something stupid. This is a clear cut case for a bet and a win for fucking Dalby, but this is in Brazil, which gives me a little heebie jeebies. And
Yeah.
then Alves is very dangerous for one round. Is Dalby dumb enough to get clocked in the first round? I don't think he's that fight IQ Dumby. What do you say, my friend?
I am kind of worried. Yeah, because Alves he has that strong first round and somewhat second. It's just the fact that Alves also has a nasty jujitsu game. Um, Dalby, if Dalby could defend himself, not get into a crazy wild exchange with Alves, I think he could get a win here.
Dalby's a
It
brown
all
belt, though.
depends. It all depends on Dalby. It all depends on Dalby, man. I think that's what it comes down to. It all depends on how Dalby's gonna fight this fight. Um, Cause Dalby could strike. Dalby's pretty good. Rest well, yeah, he's pretty good striking wise. Um, he gets into some of these crazy wars though. But yeah, I think if he could weather the storm, he'd be good.
Dalby
As you
Dalby
said,
kind of
it is in
Dalby
Brazil.
reminds me of like a watered down GSP. What do you say? A little bit. Like he's good. He's a
Oh,
very good.
boy.
He's good at MMA, right? But I like. You don't want to say he's the best striker because he's not, and you don't want to say he's the best jiu-jitsu
No,
guy. He's not. But he's a brown belt
right?
BJJ. He's
Yes.
he's tough. He's got a lot of grit. He's got a very good strike. I think his best attribute is striking. You think so too, B?
Yeah, I feel so. I feel his best attribute is his striking. But
I just don't know. I want to bet Dalby. I really do. But I'm very worried if Dalby shows up being stupid as shit and not taking this serious, he can fuck around and find out in that first round. And that scares me a
yeah,
little bit, B.
yeah, that's true.
What's the let
Um,
me look let's find out what the under is. Hold on one second. You can keep talking if you want about it.
okay, cool.
Under
You know,
it looks like 2.5, really?
he got four losses. All those are by decision. But he would have had five, but they turned one into a no contest, and that was that fight against Jesse Ronson, where Ronson submitted him
Uh-huh.
down by a rear naked choke. That was back during COVID, the year of COVID. Um, that's the only one thing. But other than that, Darby's pretty good, man. If Darby could weather that storm from Alves, I think
I just
he could be able to get it.
since I'm so hesitant on this, there must be something in my instincts telling me it's not worth the bet because I feel like it's just too. It looks too easy for, in my opinion, the Dolby's the better fighter. I feel like he's the better fighter because
That's
Alves has shown that he's got knocked out and finished before as of more recent. So I don't know how I could trust Alves, but this is in Brazil and Alves could show up fucking on super steroids and end up fucking doing something crazy, but this is going to be a really fun fight, B. I wanted to bet Dolby. I initially thought I was gonna, but I'm feeling something a little bit weird here, and so I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna pick Dolby. Are you picking Dolby?
I'll stick with the dog, Dolby. I'll
You
stick
don't
with
have to.
Dolby.
We're not betting it. We were going to.
Um, yeah, I'll take Dolby. I'll take Dolby. I think
Is
Dolby's been enough wars where he can manage
this
to.
is also a case? So the reason, also a good reason why I can't, maybe I shouldn't bet it is it does it fall in the category versus a veteran versus the newer guy? A little bit, just a little bit, right? Like Alves has been here for a longer time, and so the veteran versus the newer guy. Does he have enough gas in his tank? I don't know with Alves. I don't know. I don't think he got a lot of gas left in there. B. Thinking he's fucking that guy's petro tank's real low. Hey, who got some snap on the
Alva.
petro? Who got snap on the petro? Man, all your motherfuckers broke. Be slanging that shit. uh,
Word. I don't. Yeah, I
so
don't like his. Yeah, I don't. Not many fights in the UFC past 3 rounds, man. He's usually
fuck.
the round one, round two guy. So if Dalby can make this a fight where Alves exerts himself, man, that second round is all Dalby. Second and
Bro,
third round is all
under
Dalby.
2.5 B is negative 125. I kind of like that
Ooh.
because like there's a good chance. There's a
Yeah,
good
there's a
chance.
good chance. There's a real good chance.
So I like that better than betting Dolby straight. Right? Because look, Alves could finish Dolby. Dolby could finish Alves if Alves gets fucking tired.
Yeah.
That could happen. But I don't know, B. What do you think? You think it's worth a bet on the under, or should we just let this one slide?
Damn. At times I would tell you like, yeah, you should,
I know, right?
but damn, let this slide because it's
We'll
too
let
shaky.
this slide,
It's
and
too shaky. It's too
it's gonna
shaky.
be it's just gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great fight to watch. So make sure you tune into that fight. We talked about it enough for a fight. I was gonna bet it, guys. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not calling stupid ass bets. So that's why I'm
Right.
like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. There's something in my heebie-jeebies tell me something weird could happen. So the next fight of the night is gonna be a banger. B. Our boy from Twitter, Terrence T-Rex McKenney takes on Ismail Bonfirm, and you get to jump into it first.
All right, man. So let's go. Is Ismail Bonfim. Both brothers are fighting on this card. Let's clap it up for that. Both brothers that both made the debuts through the Contender Series last season are on here. Mareta, Ismail Mareta Bonfim, um, 18-3. Yes, the same nickname as Thiago Santos. 27 years old, 5'8" with the 71-inch reach. Represents Serrato MMA. 12 fight win streak this man is on. He showed up last season against Naraman Abasov, won by unanimous decision. Technically sound, just smoothly beat this man on every place that he needed to. Every place the fight took, he pretty much soundly beat this guy. Um, was up in LFA, got his wins in LFA, got his wins all around. Killer. This guy's a killer, man. We're talking about 8 wins by KO TKO, 4 by submission, 6 by decision. Him and his brother are explosive. Very sound fighters though, man. But he's going up against Terrence McKinney. The man T Rex, Terrence McKinney, 13-4. 28 years old, 5'10 with the 73.5-inch reach. Currently riding the 1 fight win streak, out of Warrior Cap MMA. He beat Eric Gonzalez last fight out. rear naked choke round one. He had that epic fight with Drew Dober, lost that joint though round one. Ferris Ziam, he beat rear naked choke. Matt Favola, the 7-second knockout in his debut. Was beating up a lot of these other guys too outside of the UFC. Um, dangerous cat, dangerous cat. But yeah, he also lost to Minner. Triangle choke round one. I forgot Sean Woodson did beat him up on the Contender Series back in 2019. But
No, Sean
other than
Woodson,
that,
bro.
yeah, he's Terrence McKinney's pretty much grown into improving, constantly improving. Big power, explosive young guy. Um, wrestling now. His wrestling skills are pretty damn solid, but we always see the KOs from him. Now he's learned to implement his wrestling a lot more and not just go out there like a damn flashbang grenade and just blow up the whole friggin' place, just all lights and shit. You know what I mean? You just gotta slow it down. Slow it down. When he implements the wrestling, I like it a lot. Is his wrestling gonna be beneficial in this fight? I feel so, but you gotta catch Bonfim. Bonfim is a fast dude, man. You don't know where these submissions are gonna come from, where that KO strike may come from. This is gonna be a big debut for him in Brazil. The nerves could get to him. Don't know, but as good as he is, I might take McKinney. I might take McKinney.
B, this, I didn't know the odds till right now. Negative 125 McKinney, plus 105 for Bonfirm. That's close.
Yes. And that's the scary part about it.
This is Beatty.
Yeah, I want to take McKinney on this one because I like McKinney's wrestling. If McKinney's not going out there looking to go balls to the wall, I feel like he takes this fight. One thing you got to take into consideration as well is that this is McKinney's first fight, I think, in a while outside the Apex.
What about
I think the last fight he had.
How's Bonfirm's submission game? It's pretty good.
Yes. Bonfirm's submission game is really good. It's very, very good. Nasty submission dudes. That's what I'm a little nervous about.
Well, because the reason I ask is because my brother, former wrestler in jiu-jitsu as well. I know that when he shot in versus Yoshiyuki Yoshida at UFC, I believe it was 81. He shot in and got caught in a Darce anaconda choke immediately because of the way the wrestler that he shot, the way that the way he shot in. And so I'm worried. Do you see that happening by chance? Could that happen? Like, is he slick?
That's what I'm kind of worried about. If he initiates a takedown, if he's going in full speed, he gets clipped. He tries to go for a takedown. Bonfim catches him. I'm a little worried about that. I'm a lot worried about that.
Well, because T-Rex, you would think McKinney would be favored a lot more. Not everyone knows Bonfirm compared to McKinney in the sense.
No. Yeah, Bonfim's been a scary guy outside of the UFC. But Jesus, I'm looking for McKinney because I think McKinney's gonna fight this take a whole different approach to this. To this fight. It's a very dangerous fight, man. For both guys. But I'm gonna take McKinney. It'll be McKinney's first fight outside the US. There you go. McKinney's first fight outside the US. Bonfim's first official UFC fight in Brazil. On top of that, I think the nerves might get. I'm taking McKinney based on the nerves. Just based off of this Bonfim's possible nerves being this debut, in such a big card. That's why I'm gonna take.
I want to bet McKinney but I don't know if it's also a love affair because we do like him. I do love wrestlers at that too. But fuck, B, it's so tempting to throw. Like this is like ultimate bait line. Like it's almost like that perfect number. Terrence McKinney's negative 125. You're like, oh yeah, I'll throw 1.25 units down on that. You know, like fuck, B. It's like I gotta do it, right?
You want to?
I do want to. I want to. It's just. But what I'm worried about is why is this line so close when it feels like it's not that close? Like that's what I'm in my brain having trouble seeing. Is it doesn't seem. Fuck, bro. The thing that bothers me about McKinney is him getting knocked out in the first round that one time. You know what I mean, B? You think, and he's done oh my god, I didn't know that. And he's tapped a triangle choke.
Derek Minute.
Oh my god, never mind, dude. I'm taking Bond firm, 100%. I'm not betting it. I don't like tappers and nappers. I forgot McKinney had that much damage. Like I know it's not a lot, but it's not the best. So, all right, but the next, with that one said, I'm going Bond firm because of the fact that McKinney's had a few little spots on his record that I don't like. But B's taking McKinney. I'm taking Bond firm. I know some people. I'm sorry to cut you off, but some people are looking for a Bond firm parlay where they're trying to parlay both brothers. The brothers
on this card. Yes, they're both there. Because Ismail and Gabriel are both fighting on this card. So they're actually doing a parlay, the Bond firm parlay. I've seen this. So.
I've seen worse. I've seen way worse in my life. The next fight of the night is between Luan Lacerda versus Cody Stamann. Cody Stamann is 25-1. Juan Lacerda is 12-1. Juan is 30 years old and Cody is 33, 5'7" versus 5'6", so an inch taller for Juan. 73-inch reach for Luan, which is a huge point here, versus a 64.5-inch reach of Cody Stamann. Cody Stamann, he's got really good wrestling. That's his Achilles. That's his game, is wrestling. He has to work on his striking, and he has been. I don't like his striking pedigree. I don't really like the way he moves, and I feel like he is hittable. He also bites down his mouthpiece sometimes and gets himself into situations that he shouldn't. He's taking on a guy, Luan Lacerda, who I think is really dangerous, who's 12-1, hasn't tasted defeat very many times. Let me pull up his record.
Scary guy.
Luan's last fight, he beat a guy rear naked choke round 2, heel hook round 2, which is another thing that wrestlers are very vulnerable to, in the sense is because they don't do leg locks very often. So he's busting out leg locks, heel hooks round 2. Another rear naked choke round 2. This guy's a finisher, man. His jiu-jitsu game is sick and slick as could be. I don't know. This is a very tough test for Stamann, even though the odds makers, once again, have the odds crazy. You know the odds on these, B? Juan Lacerda.
Cody Stamann is like an insane. What?
Negative 400. Negative 400 favorite for Stamann. Plus 300 for Lacerda. And I get it. He's a veteran. He's got good wrestling in the sense, but dude, this guy Luan Lacerda is no joke. This is a sleeper possible underdog from Nova União, a well decorated gym over there where they bang heavily. I don't know, B. I know this dude hasn't been in the UFC, but he's been in LFA and he's a finisher. And I've not been that high on Cody Stamann. I might be a stone. I'd like Luan Lacerda here. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not paying that money for Stamann, so it's dog or pass. I'm going with Lacerda. What do you say, B?
You know what, Mike? I'm gonna fight you, man. I'm gonna fight you. But I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I kind of thought about this joint. On paper, it should be Cody Stamann Cody Stamann should be the guy to come in here. He's fought some of the top guys, not just some of the top guys. He's fought a lot of the top guys in this division. He's fought a lot of the guys. Pretty good gas tank, really good wrestling. But he's been submitted. He's gotten beat by some of some of the best guys in the division. He's gotten submitted. He's gotten finished before. Rivera beat him. Sterling caught him with that crazy upside down type knee bar joint a little while back. Sick. The thing that kind of confuses me though, well, not confusing me, but has me a lot worried is the fact that Said Nurmagomedov got a submission on this man in 47 seconds. Off of one bad mistake that Cody Stamann made. Luan Lacerda is a nasty jiu-jitsu practitioner. What is not talked about is that man can actually strike. He has pretty good striking. I watched some of this stuff last night. Some of his fights, just look up the randoms on YouTube. You'll find some things. His striking's pretty freaking good. And if you watch his fights in LFA, they're pretty good as well. You know what I mean? You catch a couple of those if you want to fight.
He's got 9 inches reach advantage, B?
Somewhat, yeah. And he throws punches pretty damn well and lulls you into these situations where you're gonna get caught by submission. He plays his game pretty damn well. This may be one of those dog or pass situations, as you said. This may be very well one of these dog or pass situations. I wouldn't be surprised if Lacerda catches a submission one here. I wouldn't. As much as I like Cody Stamann.
Plus 500 for Lacerda by submission at 5 times.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Yeah, this is one of those dog or pass situations, big time. If you're betting, this is dog or pass. Yeah,
it's a trap. It just seems like a trap. And I know Cody Stamann. Did Cody Stamann just sign a contract, or was that someone else?
Cody Stamann, he had recently signed a contract. Yeah, contract extension.
Either way, there was someone that was high on their contract, and when the UFC gives these contracts, they give you a hell of a fight next. It's almost like a welcoming gift of like, yep, you want that money? Here you go. So with this one here, there's no way I could bet Cody Stamann at that money, and so I'd have to go dog or pass with Luan Lacerda. And I actually think this is going to be a very good fight, and that Luan Lacerda is going to fight for your money. This is going to be a good one, B. A little sleeper.
Yes. This is a sleeper fight for sure.
Sleeper fight of the night for the prelims. The next fight of the night, B, you get to break down first. It's Jalton Almeida takes on Shamil Abdurrahimov. Terrible. Can't do it.
It up. So let's go. So Jalton Almeida, Shamil Abdurrahimov, man. Abrek, who's 20-7, 41 years old. Oh shit, 6'3" with the 76-inch reach advantage out of Makhachkala, Dagestan. Oh shit. Currently running a 3-fight losing streak though, man. Which is weird, but yeah, he lost to Sergey Pavlovich last fight out. That was earlier this year. No, last year. Earlier last year, March of last year. Chris Dawkins, I remember that one perfectly. Got knocked out. Curtis Blades, TKO. That was back in 2019. He hasn't fought a lot. A lot of the bouts that he was supposed to fight got canceled. He also had some fights where he was supposed to fight Augusto Sakai. He was supposed to fight Cyril Gane, but COVID happened.
I really don't like.
Got canceled.
I really don't like Shamil B.
Shamil's a big dude. Wrestles. He could wrestle pretty well, but his wrestling got exploited by Curtis Blades, which I kind of was like, God damn, that's crazy. Dagestani got annihilated by Curtis. But for the most part, man, when he wrestles, it's good. When he just stand up, it's iffy. And he's going up against the guy who's stolen the hearts of many, Jalton Almeida, Malhadinho, who's 17-2, 31 years old, 6'3" with the 79-inch reach. Currently riding a 12-fight win streak, where he's supposed to be fighting as a light heavyweight, but he's moved up to heavyweight. And since then, man, he showed up. He beat up Parker Porter and Anton Turkalji. He fought Turkalji late last year during the DS card, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. That was a catchweight bout because he was supposed to fight Shamil. It got canceled. So he fought Turkalji, ruled Turkalji, man. Parker Porter annihilated Parker Porter like nobody's business. Other than that, this man has been doing a lot of grappling competitions. His last loss was back in 2018. Grappling wise. Not grappling wise, MMA wise. Jonathan Almeida, for a guy his size, man, taking up extra pounds to go to heavyweight division, he's pretty fucking strong, man. The way he managed to just hoist up and drop Parker Porter to get his submission win was pretty impressive. I really like his grappling, though. A lot of good control. He pummels you. He looks for the opportunity to get the submission. He works his way into the submission. Very technical with his grappling. It's gonna be probably a tough first round for him, I feel, if Shamil's gonna implement his wrestling. But if Jalton Almeida is the first guy to strike, man, I think he got this in the bag. Yeah. And if he gets Shamil down, he's going to rule on Shamil. And there's another showcase fight for Jalton Almeida, man. Jalton has good striking too, don't get me wrong. But he's going to get hold of Shamil. And if Shamil ain't able to break off, he's getting messed up bad. I'm taking another one, Jalton Almeida here. I'll even do you one better. I'm taking Jalton Almeida inside the distance, man. Inside the distance.
Nice. Yeah, I like Jalton Almeida here. I didn't even see the odds till now. Negative 1,100 for Jalton Almeida. Shamil. Plus 650. I was gonna pick Jalton Almeida, by the KO, TKO, or something like that too, because I feel like he could actually do that. Because they don't showcase his striking very much, but I do believe he's got heavy enough hands. His jiu-jitsu game is sick, like you said. He does train it a lot, but negative 1,100. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. It's like, what do we do with that, B?
For real.
like, hey, thanks for doing me a solid, guys. The next fight of the night is between Gabriel Bonfirm versus Manor Lazez.
Yes.
This should be another good. This is the other Bonfirm brother that B was talking about. Manor Lazez is 11-2. Gabriel Bonfirm is 13-0. Another undefeated. Hasn't tasted defeat. 25 years old versus 35 years old. Manor Lazez is 10 years older at the 35-year-old mark. 6'1" versus 6'1". The reach is similar. I believe that Lazez has 4-inch reach advantage. 76-inch versus 72. Oh man, B. I don't have a lot of good things to say about Lazez in the sense, so I don't know if it's just a little bit of my hatred for him and it's just in general. I feel like that Lazez doesn't like to be hit. I feel like that when he does get engaged, that he turns into a whole different person. Warley Alves turned him into a whole other person in the first round when he knocked him out. I think that's the only time that he's been folded, but that's really the only time. When he beat Al Hassan, that's when I couldn't believe it. Did that really happen, B? I couldn't believe that. I remember I lost money on Al Hassan when he lost Manor Lazez here. So I believe he smothered Al Hassan in that fight and just took him down repeatedly and hugged him right be on the ground. Was that right?
It was a lot of pummeling, a lot of stand-up stuff that happened.
Okay. It was real close
Yeah,
work. Okay, yeah, that's
a
right.
lot of clinch stuff, and a lot of the strikes, the rangy strikes and clinch work, nasty
So,
knees, and a lot of other stuff.
either way,
Yeah,
but to be fair, Lozez has really good striking. He's got good knees, jump knees. He's got decent clinch work. I just don't like him. I don't know what it is, so I can't break him down fairly. I'm just telling you I don't like him, so you don't fucking pick something stupid. When I don't like someone, you just don't. You do, like I might. I don't like fucking Dominic Cruz, so I might bet against him for just because I don't like him. So I'll bet on him. I bet on him too. So I'm just saying, just being the disclaimer. Because I don't like someone, I cannot break it down 100%. But Mr. Bon Firm, this another dude's jiu-jitsu is sick. He's busted out a Von Flue choke on the Contender Series, Darce choke on LFA. He's got good punches. The dude's a finisher, especially on the ground. And he has good experience too. I feel like that if Lazez gets put down on the ground here, he's going to be in big trouble versus Mr. Bon Firm. But let's see what the odds makers have to say since I'm just being a hater. Negative 160 for Bon Firm, plus 130 comeback for Manor Lazez. They kind of they're not talking as much shit as I am, but they're thinking that Bon Firm has a little bit better edge in definitely the ground. And then the striking is going to be a little bit more hairy. I haven't seen Bon Firm striking as much as Lazez, but the fact that Lazez was able to silence Al Hassan striking worries me a little bit in that sense. I'm picking Bon Firm, B. I think he has this, but because of that Al Hassan thing, B, it throws me off from wanting. I almost want to bet Bon Firm, but I don't want to. I just can't bet this because I hate Lazez. So I'm picking Bon Firm. But B, what do you say about this fight more professionally? Since I'm just a hater on Lazez.
well, you said it. Lazez has really good stand up, really good polished kickboxer, good skills, knows how to keep the fight standing for the most part from what we've seen. Well, from what I've seen is a couple of his fights. The guy doesn't like pressure though. Two
Nope.
things. The guy don't like pressure, and not many of his opponents have managed to, well, implement much of a ground game. I think Bonfim's going to be able to get this man to the ground. If Lazez spends more than a minute on the ground, he's fucked. That's
Fuck.
it. I'm
Fuck.
gonna take you like that. He's fucked. Bonfim is good with his striking, just like his brother. They're pretty damn polished with their striking, but it's that jujitsu, and they blend it really well, man. Um, I like, I like, uh, I like Gabriel in this one. I'm gonna take Gabriel. Also, it is another one of these situations. You're making your UFC debut on the pay per view, but they're both relatively used to being over there in Brazil. They fought a lot of fights in Brazil, so it's just that the nerves because you're on the big show. But I'll take Bonfim. I think Bonfim could close in, get takedowns on Lazez. And these guys, they just don't work off of one takedown. They're gonna look for their takedowns. It's that second and third effort they're gonna put in for the takedowns, and I think that's what's gonna help. I think that's gonna help, and I think when Mornier ends up hitting that ground, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm really in this situation," or he gets his back taken, or something crazy, he's gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm in this shit for
He's gonna
real."
be in big trouble if he gets down the ground.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Bonfim on this one, man. I'm gonna take Bonfim. I
Yeah,
haven't
well,
seen crazy stuff from Lazez other than the fact that he fought Al Hassan, and now Al Hassan, you see Al Hassan wrestles a lot more. He grapples a little bit more, you know what I mean? He fights a lot more smarter than what he used to fight.
yeah,
That's the only thing that, the Lazez win showed me. But other than that, I'll take Bonfim, man.
yeah, I agree. Bonfim. I was calling him Bonfirm. Bonfim. I agree. I think that he's the just a better fighter, but also, like I said, just to be transparent, I also just dislike Lazez. So that's just to be fair. I want to bet Bonfim, but I don't want to bet it because I don't like Lazez. So take that for what it is. The next fight of the night is between Tiago Moises versus how the fuck do you say that? Melquizal Costa. You gotta break that down first, B.
All right, cool, man. Um, yeah, Moises versus Costa. If I remember, is this the second? No, this is the first fight between two Brazilians. Yeah, because there's two fights here where it's just Brazilian versus Brazilian. But yeah, man, ATT versus Shooter Box, man. This is pretty dope.
Yep.
Melquizael Costa, yeah. 19-5, man. 26 years old, 5'10" with the 73-inch reach. Currently riding a 2-fight win streak. Representing the Shooter Box team. Jao Emilio, because Shooter Box is broken up in all different types of friggin' segments and shit since the original Shooter Box left. But yeah, man,
Chuto.
this guy, pretty good wins. Um, got a win by overhand, KO TKO. Pretty much is the Shooter Box remedy, the Shooter Box recipe, right? 7 wins by knockout or TKO, 6 wins by submission, 6 wins by decision. A guy who's pretty quick himself, explosive as well. Is the Shooter Box, run. What is it? The Shooter Box formula. You go in, you're pretty much a good jiu-jitsu guy. They build you up a little bit more and you improve your striking. Then you go out there and you're just crazy knees, super kicks, fast as hell. It's always that type of stuff, and you're willing to get into these brawl type situations.
Vanderlei
That's
Silva.
a lot of what. Yeah, Vanderlei Silva, Anderson Silva was like that at one point, but he separated himself. Shogun Hua, the whole bunch of them. Fast guy, explosive guy, monstrous guy. He's going up against Thiago Moises, though. 16-6, decorated jiu-jitsu cat, 27 years old, 5'9" with the 70-inch reach. So he reached this advantage. Represent American top team. Christos Giagos was the last time he fought, June last year. Won by rear naked choke. Lost to Joel Alvarez, which kind of shocked me. And Islam Makhachev, but that's Islam. Before that, he beat Alexander Hernandez, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson. He did some grappling up and down with the in the division. Really good, improved striking. Pretty good gas tank. Good jiu-jitsu skills. This is almost like a mirror match, I feel. Almost a mirror match. I do know that due to the being Shooter Box, you're gonna go in there hard. I don't know about Costa's gas tank. That's gonna be one of the issues I have. How good is that kid's gas tank? I lean towards Moises. I think Moises has had a lot more experience. This is one of those, as you like to say, the young guy versus the veteran. Even though they both, Costa has had a few more fights than Moises.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Moises on this one.
This is 100% the veteran versus the new guy. This is the exact definition of the what my rule is. Moises doesn't show you enough to shown you no gas. He's got so much more skill and so much more experience that he's got to be able to pull this off, right, B?
Yeah, he should be able to.
And the odds makers kind of agree with those too, because Thiago Moises is negative 400 plus 300 comeback for Costa. But this Costa guy, he was he an LFA? B? What was he from?
Costa fought one time in LFA, but a lot of his stuff he's fought over.
Yes, he's got the good experience. This could be end up being a closer fight than it looks on the odds wise, because Costa is pretty lively, but the experience factor of Moises has got to be so tremendous. It's hard for me to see any way that Costa will be able to get this one done. So with that said, I have to go with the heavy favorite. The next fight of the night is Gregory Rodriguez takes on Bruno Ferreira. And Gregory RoboCop at that. If you guys don't know him, lot of fun. Lot of fun when it comes to this middleweight division. This Bruno Ferreira be this guy? This is a first fight here in the UFC, correct?
Yep, he's coming from the Contender Series.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, and he won by punches in round one. He absolutely starched the dude. Before that,
Yes.
he beat a dude that was 10-3. So he's got some decent experience. He's got very heavy hands, and he's definitely a finisher, which is it could be a good recipe for someone against someone like Gregory RoboCop, who's gonna put himself in the fire and make himself vulnerable. Right now, the odds makers have Gregory Rodriguez negative 300 plus 280 comeback for Bruno Ferreira. The experience for me is hard to get over because Gregory Rodriguez has already been here and done that with a bunch of these guys. But Gregory Rodriguez has been wobbled, and I believe when he did lose, he got knocked out, right? No. Who did he get? He was wobbled really bad one time. B, do you remember that when he was stumbling around and he was just wobbling all over? He must have came back and won. I can't remember who that was.
He got stuck. He got shook up by Chidi. The
Oh,
Chidi and
Chitty.
Jaquani did.
That's who it was.
And
It was
then
Chitty.
Armin Petrosian did the same thing to him at one point.
Okay, so that's right. So
Yeah.
so that's that. I always have that in my mind is that a RoboCop is very finishable. He's going to get finished. He's going to get clipped, and he's going to get knocked down at some point. I don't know when, and I hope to be able to catch it when he does. But he's facing a dude who's a finisher. One punch power. It's I got the vet. I have to pick the veteran because of my rule, but fuck B. This guy Bruno Ferreira is no joke, man. I mean, do you know anything about this guy, B?
I watched him on the Contender Series.
So,
And based off the Contender Series, that dude is scary, bro. That motherfucker is scary. He sizes you up. He goes in there. He don't care about what you're gonna do. He's gonna look to land.
Yeah.
If he lands,
You out.
yeah, it's done. It's done. It's done. And that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of that because Gregory Rodriguez, even though Gregory Rodriguez is experienced, Gregory Rodriguez plays with fire way too much.
Yeah, he does.
And he gets himself into these crazy exchange situations that he doesn't need to get himself involved in. If he just plays it and uses his jiu-jitsu in these fights, you know what I mean? Fight smarter. Don't go crazy. And he going to be out there in the front of the Brazilian crowd. And you know he's going to try to do something out of the norm. He'll try to do something out of the norm. But at the same time I say this, that dude Bruno hasn't really gotten himself out of. He hasn't had much fights outside the first round.
No.
So on paper, paper,
this first round's gonna be banger on paper.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But if RoboCop can keep this fight smart, and avoid the big exchanges, work outside a little bit, and time your takedowns, force this man to use his energy up, by like the second and third round, he should be easy pickings for you, man, to implement some jiu-jitsu on him and try to get a submission. I don't want you to go out there and, unless it's going to be a ground and pound TKO, I don't want you to go crazy throwing hands with this guy. No. Fight smart. Get the grappling out there. Get your submission in. I'm going to take Rodriguez. Hoping that Rodriguez fights smart. Learn your lesson from your last fight. You had a whole vagina on your head the last time you fought. So just go ahead and fight smart, please. That's all.
Yeah, it's just hard. That's gonna be a good fight though, but I got to go through the veteran. I just feel like he's got a little bit too much experience, but it's definitely gonna be closer than it is lined. I feel like that the other dude could end up getting Bruno Ferreira could end up getting a knockout. If RoboCop fucks around too long, he can find out.
Yeah.
The next fight of the night, B, you get a breakdown first. It's the OG veteran Mauricio Shogun Hua takes on Eor Pereira.
All right, man. So we're gonna go. This is a light heavyweight fight. So we'll talk about the duelist Ihor Pereira, who's 18-3, 26 years old, 6'3", with the 6'3", 75-inch reach, representing Ukraine. Picked up the loss in his debut. He fought Nicholas Negumereanu. Negumereanu knocked him out. Well, technically knocked him out in round 2. That was back in July last year. He came in, had that fight, ground and pound. Won on the Contender Series back in 2021 against Lucas Sadolski. He fought over in, the Euro area over there, and in Ukraine. Picked up a lot of wins. Yeah, about 7 wins by KOTK. Well, 14 wins by finish. 7 by KOTKO, 7 by submission, 4 by decision. Big power, mainly the striking guy. He got exploited by Negumereanu for lacking takedown defense. Ground game kind of iffy, suck. But good at stand up, big time. He's going up against the OG, long time guy, 21 years in the fight game, Mauricio Shogun Hua, man. 27-13-1. 41 years old, 6'1" with the 76-inch reach advantage. Representing Curitiba, Brazil. Long-time shooter box member. Let's go. Last time he fought, lost to OSP. Split decision. He tapped out against Paul Craig due to strikes back in 2020. Didn't believe we'd see that. 2 wins he picked up back. Lost to Anthony Smith. Before that, he beat Tyson Pedro round 3. That was a pretty good fight. And he beat Rogerio Nogueira. Other than that, fought a list of who's who. He had the epic fights against Dan Henderson, Pride champ, UFC champion after beating Machida. But damn, man, I don't know. This has been a long layoff. He's coming back out here. He's had a lot of injuries throughout his year, man. Shoulder, hands, knees, foot, all types of crazy shit, man. I shouldn't want to count out the OG, you know what I mean? I know you're OG versus young guy.
This ain't it. This ain't it.
I was gonna say
this is that
OG versus young guy.
That old dinosaur gas station called Sinclair.
But yeah, man, I think Ihor is tailor made to take this fight to win. If this fight's gonna be standing, I know Shogun should be going for the takedown. He should fight a smart fight. He has good jiu-jitsu skills, We don't see them often as we used to see them back in the day. But they have shown up here and there through his UFC run. But I think Pereira will stop a lot of that. I think, unfortunately, this is Ihor Pereira's fight to win here. I think Ihor's going to bang on this guy. I think he's going to go in there, catch Shogun with something, put the pressure on Shogun. And then Shogun's going to be like, fuck it, I can't do this, man. Even though Shogun got crazy, nice leg kicks, he still got the leg kicks. He still got some. Damn, not even some. This glimpse, little glances of the old school explosion.
Fighting, dude. It's terrible.
But yeah, he should have retired a while ago, man. Long layoffs, constant injuries. He's gotten injured in the middle of fights at times. Yeah, man. I'm gonna take Ihor, man. I hate to say it, but Shogun, this is it, man. I think this is it for Shogun. This is Shogun's last fight.
That's gross.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna take Ihor, man. If Shogun gets it done, then props to him. But I'm gonna take Ihor, man.
I feel like we're at the circus and they're parading the old lion around for us, who's got like spots and is like losing hair and like half of its body. and it's just sad watching what's left of the OG legend, Shogun Hua. So
For
with that
real.
said, man, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Io Petrero should be able to win this. He's more athletic, younger. I just don't. I just other than experience and absolute savagery is the only way that Hua could win, which he could. But I'm going with E or 2B. I just don't think that this is a very tailor made matchup for a guy like Hua at his age. You just look at his body, look at his face. He just doesn't look like the guy that wants to be, in war anymore. B. He should be
Yeah.
retired coaching people, but what do I know? The next fight of the night, B, is between Paul the Bear Jew Craig takes on Johnny Walker in the light
Yep.
heavyweight division. This should be a good one between 19-7 Johnny Walker versus the 16-5-1 Paul Craig. Uh, man, Johnny Walker, very fun to watch. Very explosive, explosive knees in the clinch. Loves to get the clinch in general. Like an elbow from the clinch. Very good striker. I believe he's southpaw as well. He's going to have an 82-inch reach, Johnny Walker, versus the 76-inch reach of Paul Craig. The height, 6'6" versus 6'3", 3-inch height advantage for Johnny Walker with that reach advantage. The reach advantage is going to be huge for a guy like Johnny Walker versus a guy like Paul Craig, who Paul Craig doesn't have very good striking, and he's very hittable, and he also needs to get this fight on the ground immediately. And Johnny Walker knows that, and he should be able to drill that. And as a striker himself, he has known that he needs to be drilling takedown defense constantly. I just don't feel like Paul Craig's striking is going to be able to jump up to the levels that Johnny Walker's is as fast as Johnny Walker can learn takedown defense versus a guy like Paul Craig, who doesn't have the best wrestling entries, doesn't have a good single leg, doesn't have a good double leg. He just has more like of a grab, clinch, and trip, grab and drag you down, more type of a wrestler that Paul Craig is. So with this one here, I'm going to make it short and sweet. I feel like this is a good fight for Johnny Walker to win, showcase his striking skills. He should be able to possibly put Paul Craig down in a highlight reel knockout. But if he gets down on the ground from a guy like Paul the Bear Jew Craig, it's going to be a wrap, just like our boy Jamal Hill found out. But B, who do you got in this matchup?
Damn, this is a tough matchup. Like in my head, Paul Craig has been tried and true, man. That's a dude who's willing to get a little gritty here and there. The comeback king of the light heavyweight division.
Dude, comeback
Yeah.
king. Unreal.
You
His
know,
comebacks are crazy.
exactly, man. Just so insane, and it's insane to think of it. Um, the guy stand up is very iffy, but his jiu-jitsu is really good. We've seen him come back. Magomed, I think one of Magomed's biggest losses, or his only loss, is like Paul Craig submission.
Yeah.
He's beating a lot of people. Jamal Hill had his whole arm dislocated because of friggin' Paul Craig. Paul Craig is really about that life, man. But he's going up against Johnny Walker, and a few years ago, I would have probably said Paul Craig takes this one because Johnny Walker didn't quite have the jiu-jitsu ground game, didn't really look that way. But now that he's been at SBG, he's fought a lot smarter. He's not the crazy explosive guy that we've seen beforehand, which I'm kind of disappointed about. But I don't mind seeing a fighter fight a lot smarter. He fought Ian Kudalaba. Kudalaba tried to go for the takedown. He took advantage of that, got the top position, got the submission. Looked really good. I would like to see him throw a lot more, though. But considering the fact he is the taller guy, he has the range. He understands already that Paul Craig is definitely going to look to take this to the ground at some point. That's Paul Craig's path to victory, is his strongest path to victory. I'm going to take Walker. I'll take Walker. I think Walker gets this done by KO TKO. Paul Craig, I'm sorry.
I'm not
You
sorry.
know,
You fucking screwed us versus no time, motherfucker. Now I
yeah,
got no time. Now I got no
that's
time
one
for
of the,
you. Right?
that's one of the things that also factors into this as well because man kept laying there trying to
Oh,
entice Ozdemir to the ground for some strange fucking reason. Walker's
bro,
not gonna do that shit until you get up, and then he's gonna throw that
seriously.
big ass leg and that big ass arm and try to knock your head off, man. So we're taking Walker. I'm
Yep.
Johnny Walker. Let's go. That's it.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm glad you're on Team Walker too. I just feel like he's the better athlete, but we'll see what happens. The next fight, the night be, you get a breakdown first. The two ladies on the main card, Jessica Andrade takes on Lauren Murphy.
Oh man.
You could always get
Yes.
the girl. You get the girl fights all of a sudden. It's crazy.
Yes. But this is a fight I like. I
Yeah,
like this fight
I'm
a
okay with
lot.
this. I'm okay with this one compared to the second fight I gave you in the other night. It's not my
Better
fault.
is
The UFC did it to you.
word, right? Bate Estaca Jessica Andrade, man, 23-9, the former strawweight champion, flyweight title contender, 31 years old, 5'1" with the 62-inch reach, represent Yamarama, Parana, Brazil. Currently riding a 2-fight win streak out of Parana Vale Tudo. She beat Amanda Lemos last time we seen her fight with the standing arm triangle. Beat up Cynthia Calvillo. Beat the brakes off of Cynthia Calvillo. Jesus Christ.
The breaks.
Yes.
Catch
She
that.
lost to Valentina Shevchenko in her title fight, a title opportunity fight, but TKO'd Kaylin Chukagian with the body shot. Lost to Rose, lost to Waylay. Jessica Andrade is tiny, but she is mighty. That
Yeah.
girl's strength is crazy.
Yeah.
She's balls to the wall all the damn time. She has learned to be more patient, tying up her boxing a bit more, use that fight IQ, and put herself in advantageous positions. But sometimes she can go back to balls to the wall, wing nasty hooks and overhands, get crazy with it. But you don't want to get in a clinch situation with Jessica Andrade because you might end up being thrown over her head.
On your damn head.
Literally. Them slams, those takedowns are crazy. And to think that she was as big as a bantamweight, got as small as a strawweight, and still carries that power between strawweight and flyweight is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But she got her hands full. She's going up against Lauren Murphy, another title challenger, former Invicta bantamweight champion. There you go. Lucky Lauren Murphy, who's 16-5, fought a list of who's who in the division in both bantamweight and now flyweight. 39 years old, 5'5" with the 68-inch reach. Currently riding a 1-fight win streak. She fought Miesha Tate and beat Miesha Tate unanimous decision. Miesha was talking all that hot stuff, as Mike was saying through the broadcast. Fuck around and find out. And Miesha Tate fucked around and found out. She ain't got hands, kid. Lauren Murphy beat the brakes off her. She did lose to Valentina Shevchenko in her title fight.
Who doesn't lose to Valentina?
Facts. But she had a good 5-fight win streak, beating Joanne Wood, Lilia Shakarova, Roxanne Modafferi, Andrea Lee, and Mara Borella. What's there to say? She was living in Alaska. She got some crazy ass Alaska strength. The girl's strong. What's really weird is that she's strong and she didn't quite have a wrestling ability before jumping into MMA. I think her stuff was mainly like somewhat jiu-jitsu, but her natural raw strength is crazy, and that's the thing that I want to see in this fight a lot. To see Jessica Andrade challenge that strength.
Oh, we're gonna find out who's strongest.
Yeah. Yes, we are. I like Lauren Murphy's strength and conditioning. Improved a lot especially against Misha, because Misha thought she was gonna get the wrestle her. Nah, it didn't happen. Very few girls are able to throw around Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy is a monster. She's improved her boxing as well. I like her footwork going on in here. I like her clinch game, as always. I like the her combinations. She's working good in combinations as well. It's gonna be the combination striker from her versus the power from Andrade. Um, really damn
fight.
good fight. It's gonna
3-round
be a
fight.
really good fight.
Oh yeah,
Really good fight. 3 rounds. Yes, 3 rounds. Um, fuck Lauren Murphy, man. It's because I really like her. I'm taking Andrade. I am taking Andrade.
Okay.
I'm taking Andrade, but it's gonna be a very close fight. I feel.
Yeah,
I think Andrade could get this through the footwork, and if she works Lauren Murphy's body, it's not gonna be much about the headshots. It's got to be about the grappling, getting in your space, and working Lauren Murphy's body instead of trying to just knock her out clean. But limit your clinching, limit your inside work, because you don't want to get caught in a Lauren Murphy clinch. I'm taking.
I don't know, man. I don't. That's where it's gonna be interesting. Who's stronger, and we're gonna find out. And I feel like Andrade should be able to clinch up, grab her, and slam her down, and kind of repeatedly, and win 2 of 3 rounds, if not more. But I also count Lucky Lauren Murphy out a lot of the time. So I don't know when to call it for her, but I feel like Andrade is just too much, and she just has. Lauren Murphy's face is super cuttable too. We saw her take punches and bunches from Valentina Shevchenko. I just feel like she's going to get cut really badly from something from Jessica Andrade and slammed down. And it's going to be a unanimous decision win for Jessica Andrade. She's a negative 500 favorite, plus 360 comeback for Lucky Lauren Murphy. So nothing to write home about for picking. But I feel like that Andrade is the side, and I feel like she's an absolute beast. But Lucky Lauren Murphy is so strong, and I've doubted her before. I'd really like to see the strength versus strength, and it's going to be interesting. With that said, the next fight of the night is between Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. This is in the 175-pound division and should actually be a good one. We got Neil Magny 27-9 versus the 20-5 of Gilbert Burns. 36 versus 35, 1 year younger for Neil Magny, 6'3", 5'10" for Gilbert Burns. So the height goes to Neil Magny. The reach for Neil Magny with 9 inches. He's got an 80-inch reach, 71-inch reach for Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns got that BJJ black belt that just cannot be messed with. Neil Magny also has some really good jiu-jitsu as well, but it's nothing in the sense of that Gilbert Burns has. I feel like Gilbert Burns definitely has the better power. The reach is going to Neil Magny. Maybe slight cardio, but I don't even know if I could give him that. I got Gilbert Burns here all day, B. I think he submits Neil Magny and makes him look pretty soft on the ground. I feel like he should be able to clock him with a big punch, get him down the ground, and end up doing what he wants. Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu game is no joke, and there's just levels to it. And if Neil Magny versus Gilbert Burns are in the jiu-jitsu mats on the ground, I'm taking Gilbert Burns, and I just don't see any way that Neil Magny would TKO Gilbert Burns realistically. But did you see anything that I'm not B? I'm going Gilbert Burns.
First off, this is gonna be a tough fight. This shit is gonna be entertaining as well. Neil Magny has been one of those dark horses in this division for quite a bit. He's fought a list of who's who. Been trying to climb up the rankings. Picked up a really good win against D-Rod. Bruh. Neil Magny got 2 things going for him. Volume and cardio. One of his Achilles heels, though, jiu-jitsu. Who's good at jiu-jitsu? Who's really good at jiu-jitsu?
Exactly.
That guy Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Who's also been pretty... Go ahead.
If you look at Magny's losses in in the MMA and versus jiu-jitsu guys, look at Damian Maia, right? There's a few other guys, He
Yeah,
also,
RDA.
yep,
RDA beat him
yep,
easily.
yep.
And Gilbert Burns is really good at jiu-jitsu. Not just that, Gilbert Burns' cardio is fucking insane. That guy got really good cardio, man.
Yeah, and heart.
Um, yes. And his striking's improved greatly. I love that guy's leg kicks. His right hand has been money for him.
All those leg kicks you just brought up are going to be really good versus Neil Magny's chicken legs.
Yes. And Neil Magny tends to circle into leg kicks, which I kind of hate. But it's a tendency he has, but
Yes,
it's there.
it
It
can't be
happens a
fixed
lot.
almost.
Yeah, it really can't. It really can't.
It's ingrained in him.
Um, yeah, it's been one of his Achilles heels. Um, Even though Magny can wrestle and he's built up his cardio, working at the elevation fight team, you know what I mean? He's been doing his thing. Gilbert Burns' cardio was fire too, man. And even though Gilbert, I mean, as we said, Magny has the wrestling. Gilbert also been training wrestling and jiu-jitsu. We forget where he's training at, man. He's training with the Kill Cliff guys, the Sanford guys, the Black Zillions guys.
Yep.
All those guys aren't just kickboxers and strikers, man. We got wrestlers too, man. This is a dude who trained with Kamaru Usman. This is a guy who's training with freaking Mike Chandler and shit. So this is a dude who really understands wrestling. He gets the wrestling aspect. You know what I mean? And his strength is pretty damn good too. That grappler strength is no fucking joke, man.
Yep.
It should be Neil Magny's time to shine, but not quite yet, man. We're taking Gilbert Burns on this one. Gilbert's been talking that talk. He's upset Bilal Muhammad's getting climbed up and skipping guys. Gilbert wants to smoke with Bilal Muhammad, I guess. So I guess Gilbert's gonna show up in Brazil, get mad love, do his thing, pick up a W, then look for the next person to fight, man. Side note, George Masvidal, you're a total bitch because you were supposed to fight this guy and you kept ducking him. He wanted to smoke with you. You talked that shit. No sound. Magny wanted to smoke with you. You ain't say shit. You've been quiet too. Nah, man, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've ruined that all when the 3-piece in the soda should have came to fruition.
Word.
But yeah, I'm going with Burns, and so was Mr. B for that matchup there. But it's going to be a fun one to watch them scramble a little bit on the ground, but it shouldn't last long if Burns gets them down. The next fight of the night is the first championship fight is between Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Mr. B, you get the pleasure of breaking that championship bout down first. Let's go.
First off, this is the first time ever in UFC history that we've had a quadrilogy, as people are calling it, and they called it this morning on the weigh-in show. That name hurt my head. Quadrilogy.
It's gonna be a good fight, bro. I usually don't like all these repeat championship fights, but these guys go at it.
Hell yeah, man. And it's really impressive, man. They literally won 1-1 where we really need a 4 fight.
Yeah.
So we're going into it. We have Brandon Moreno, 26-2, man, the assassin baby. Man, do I love this guy, man. 29 years old, 5'7" with the 70-inch reach, out of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Representing Glory MMA and Fitness, but unfortunately, due to the James Krause situation, this man went out and trained in some other places and found a spot in Fortis. So he's gonna have what's that dude's name? Sayed Sayed. Yeah, there you go.
I can't say it
Sayed.
properly. Yeah, there you
go. He's gonna have him in his corner. Last fight out, he got that interim title, being Kai Kara France. Lost to Davison Figueiredo, beat Davison Figueiredo, draw with Davison Figueiredo, beat Royval, Formiga, Kai Kara France. Y'all know the deal, man. The assassin baby, while having his jiu-jitsu background, pretty good jiu-jitsu, trained with a lot of folks, mixed it up here and there. the guy's improved a lot in his striking. You know, he got cut by the UFC, beat Michael Perez in LFA, won the flyweight title, came back, showed his fucking heart, his chin, showed how gritty he could really be, man. This dude's taking punches to the face. That boxing, I love his fucking boxing, bro. I love his boxing. He tends to be a little light, slightly light, but he fights a lot flat-footed. But he's improved it during his fights with Figueiredo to be a little bit more light on his feet. Like his combination boxing. Love his jiu-jitsu control on the ground. Tough kid. Shows a lot of heart. Plays Legos. Also, big props.
Legos are the shit, dude.
This year is the year for the Mexican fighter. So props to all the Mexican fighters out there because Moreno's fighting for a title. We just got word Irene Aldana is going to be fighting Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight title. And Valentina Shevchenko's fighting Alexa Grasso for the flyweight title. They're going to be fighting, defending her title against Alexa Grasso.
Talia Santos is getting the dick down for that.
Word.
I love me some Valentina, but I mean, I'd like me some Talia Santos too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Tyler should have got a rematch. You know what I mean? Santos should have got her rematch, but it is what it is, man. But Moreno, he's going up against Deiveson Figueiredo, and Figueiredo's our champion. 21-2-1. And it's crazy. Like, we know the two losses that he's had, like right off the brain. He lost to Formiga. Formiga out-grappled the hell out of him. And then Brandon Moreno beat him, submitted him. Other than that, this man's been damn flawless. Been practically freaking flawless in his whole career, man. 9 wins, 17 finishes, 4 by decision. Beat Moreno, lost to Moreno. Yeah, we all know the whole thing. Smoked Alex Perez. Benavidez, he smoked Benavidez twice. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Tim Elliott, Pendoja. Yeah, man, I still feel bad for Benavidez.
I don't feel too bad. He's got a hot girl at home.
Word. Yeah, he does. But Deiveson Figueiredo, man, good, light on his feet, fast motherfucker. Pretty big for the flyweight division though. He struggled in the past before to make weight. Yeah, we know that. But yeah, really light on his feet, fast as fuck. I love the broad stance he has, that karate stance. Keeps that left hand up, that right hand be tucked in. Cannon of a right hand he has though. When he lands that shit, oh, it is painful, man. That straight right hand of his is money. But over the years, we've seen him have a little. Well, he had the slight grappling issue, but he's done himself pretty well in defending takedowns and whatnot. Really good takedown defense. But he worked with Henry Cejudo to get his title back. Showed a really good grappling game against Brandon Moreno. Managed to scramble out of situations, get takedowns on Moreno, implemented the takedown game real well with the striking. Had Moreno guessing. Moreno was a little bit too hot-headed, I think, at times in getting the exchanges in their last fight. But I think Moreno will clear that up this time around. Figueiredo moved, though. He left Cejudo. I forgot where he trained for this camp at. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm hoping Figueiredo comes in with somewhat of a similar game plan where he implements the striking and the takedowns a lot more. Try to get a lot more ground control. Look for submission attempts on the ground, maybe. For Moreno, don't change much. If anything, be a little lighter on your feet. Don't take so many damn kicks to your leg. Figueiredo managed to sweep his legs quite a couple times with the leg kicks. Um, do use the range. I love how he makes himself a lot more rangier when he lunges. He uses the long jab. The long jab and pretty much baits you into a combination exchange, which is pretty dope. Um, so
What's wrong with you?
You good? Little homie came through and just magically fell on nothing. I don't know, but yeah.
It's all good.
But other than that, yeah. Other than that, man, Moreno, I want to see some more grappling control too, as well. You could take down Figueiredo. You've taken down Figueiredo before. Use that and try to get more of your jiu-jitsu out on Figueiredo, man. There's gonna be a really good fight. I'm going with Moreno per usual. I'm going with Moreno on this one. I went for Moreno the last 3 damn fights. Why not this time? So there's Brandon Moreno, man. Brandon Moreno all day. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going with Brandon Moreno this time too. I believe the first time what I've gone back and forth a few times. One time I was right, one time I wasn't, and then it's gone back and forth, like I said. So, but on this one here, I feel like Brandon Moreno is just more mentally sound. I feel like Davison Figueiredo, if you watch him at the weigh-ins, he's always trying to do something like to get into someone's head, and I really don't like the showboating or like the aggressive, just tried to push Moreno at the weigh-in to get him all fired up. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of all that stuff. I think it's a waste of energy. I feel like it's kind of a show, kind of in poker. You're showing them your hand, and so with that said, I'm going to be betting Brandon Moreno at the negative 125 mark, putting 1.25 units down on this championship bout. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be super exciting, and I'm hoping that the Mexican Chicano ends up becoming or keeps that championship belt in Mexico, and it's just going to be hopefully just a great fight, and I know it will be because both of these guys are just absolutely amazing, man. With that said, that's the co-main event, and now the main event. And the reason we are here is between Glover Teixeira takes on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill, and
Yes.
this is going to be a good fight between the OG veteran Glover Teixeira and the young buck Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill's 11-1, and the veteran OG is 33-8. 31 years old for Jamal Hill, 43 years old for the OG. 6'4" for Jamal Hill, 6'2" for Teixeira. 79-inch reach for Jamal, 76-inch reach for Teixeira, 3-inch reach advantage for Jamal Hill, which I think that he should use. He's going to need to use and he's going to have to use. I feel like he can get to Glover possibly early, but if Glover gets him down on the ground, man, I feel like Jamal Hill's going to be in a world of trouble if he's submitted to a guy like Paul the Bear Jew. This is with the veteran versus the newcomer, and I'm having a hard time. And so, but I gotta stick. It's hard for me to not think that Glover Teixeira, the veteran, can't get Jamal Hill down one time in the first round. It's gonna be scary because Jamal Hill could lace him up in the first round before it even happens. I can't go against the rules, so with this one, I got to go with Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. Even though I love Jamal Hill, I love his striking, I love his attributes, I love his mind, I love everything about him. But it's hard for me to ignore all the years and experience that Glover Teixeira has showcased, and he's just come back from adversity so many times. I know maybe it's too many times he's came back, but I feel like he can do it and get him down on the ground and possibly submit Jamal Hill. I will be rooting Jamal Hill on, but I'm picking Glover Teixeira, the OG here, veteran versus the new guy. What do you say, B?
Yeah, man. Hell of a main event. Hell of a main event. And yeah, really.
I know. I wanted to pick Hill too, but it's like I can't go against the rule. It's been the veteran's been winning every time, Hubby.
Yeah, man. Veterans have been showing up, man. And this is one of those times where it's kind of crazy. Glover has been tried and tested, man. Tried and tested. Epic fight against Jiri Prochazka. Beat Jan Blachowicz. Put to the post. Beat up all these young guys. His run to get the title was freaking epic. But fuck, man. Jamal Hill's been showing up and showing out, yo. Fast cat. Gritty. He's tough as hell, man. but he moves pretty fast. He looks smaller than what he is. He's been more on some of the smaller side of the light heavyweight division,
Yes.
but he's made up for it with the power, the speed, and really good footwork. Takedown defense has been okay, but it got a little exposed. Paul Craig managed to get up on him. But what the hell happened in his last fight was really telling. 6 takedowns. 6. Count them. That's 3 plus 3. Thiago Santos managed to get 6 takedowns on this guy. A dude who barely uses takedowns got takedowns on this guy, man. And got some decent control. Well, somewhat decent control. If Glover manages to get 1, it's going to be problematic. I'm looking for at least 2 for Glover to get. If Glover gets at least 2, 5 plus 1. Yup. If he gets at least 2, it's going to be problematic because you know what Glover's good at? Glover's good at control. Taking your back, top position, initiating the work, the constant, the ground strikes, getting his way into getting a submission. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at it. And if Jamal Hill finds himself in that situation, he is very well screwed.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end,
same for Glover.
We seen Glover get into some bad situations in the stand-up department. Remember that man got knocked down a couple seconds by Rumble? Yeah. He's gotten clipped bad on the feet, man. Alexander Gustafsson got him bad. Rumble got him bad. Who else that got him real bad?
Rumble's got that freak power though. I don't think Jamal's.
But that's the whole thing. Yeah. It don't matter how he lands. If he lands, it's over. Jamal Hill's precise though. And that's one of the crazy things, man. I don't know how much Jamal Hill improved on that takedown defense or improved his ground game because Santos took him down, but Santos didn't do nothing much with the takedowns. Glover's gonna work in those takedowns, man. Glover's here in Brazil. My brain says Hill. My heart says Glover.
I know. This is a fuck.
I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what it says. My brain says Hill. My heart says Glover.
I gotta go. I gotta stay with the OG in Brazil. Man, if there's any bit of like a tide swing and Jamal Hill gives Glover Teixeira a little bit of mental power, this is a fucking wrap over there,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yep. And if Glover lets the nerves get to him, then that's gonna be a problem. It is a problem for either one if they let the nerves get to them. Because Glover's gonna be fighting in Brazil first time in a long time.
Someone's getting finished.
Yeah, someone's getting finished. This fight does not go the distance at all.
Yeah. No.
Hell no.
Someone's going out.
Not
someone's
at all.
Someone's going to sleep somehow.
Yep.
So it should be an absolutely fabulous main event for the pay-per-view 283 going down tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. I believe it starts, the early prelims are at 3 p.m. tomorrow, right, B?
3 p.m. your time. 3 p.m. your time, 6 p.m. my time.
Yeah. So 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for B is when the fights kick off. I really appreciate all you guys being here and every single one of you guys interacting in the chats. Gary Boxon and Meg, Kick Your Bass, Black and Black, every single one of you guys who make the show what it is. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you, Mr. B, my man. You want to shoot your Twitter handle out where you'll be tomorrow?
Sure, man. Catch me, man, on Twitter. New Year's same B at Mr. B 1986. Yeah, I changed the first name. I didn't mention that the last time we was on, but yeah, I changed it. New Year's same B at Mr. B 1986. You know the deal. Ask me a question. I drop fights news and all that stuff there. I ask random ass questions. Get Catch me on OK Live on the weekends, where we watch fights. Same handle, Mr. B. I got the picture of Laura Senko. I know the deal. Yeah, man.
Well,
Yep, that's it.
well, I appreciate you being here as always, man. Love shooting the shit with you and talking about these UFC bets. And so, with that said, appreciate every single one of you guys tuned in to Cope's Corner this week. And until next time, let's